All right, so I've been having trouble with my bonus board. Once again, these are pre-2005 ice balls. It's making a crazy popping sound, and it is kind of resetting itself or rebooting itself or something. So I turned it off for now. Now I'm getting back to it. So let's plug it in, turn it on, and see what it's doing. All right, so I turned it on. It looks like it's working fine, but it's not. It's in time. Once it starts to heat up, it will start making those weird noises. So I'm gonna leave it on for a little while to see when it starts making those popping noises, and I'll start recording it after that. At that point, I want to take off the actual marquee and start looking inside to see what's going on. I want to see if there's any sparking or anything like that. Probably won't be, but I just want to see what's going on in there while it's making its weird noises. Not sure what's wrong with it, but we'll figure it out. Well, I missed it. I definitely heard a couple weird sounds. By the time I got out here to open up my camera and record, it turned off. So I know it's still plugged in. Let's open it up and see what we can see. All right, so we're up in here. You can see that it does have power there. For some reason, it just turned off and it no longer is actually running. Everything is connected the way it's supposed to be, but we just are losing power. I keep losing power no matter what. So I'm gonna get over there to the board side and see if I can pull it out with everything connected still. So let me get over to that side. All right, so what I'm doing is right now I'm just looking to see if I could see any swollen caps, burnt out resistors, anything like that. I'm also kind of doing a little sniff test to see if I can smell anything that's burnt. I don't see anything and I don't smell anything. But then again, the board's also inside there, and I'm gonna need to remove it so I can look at it a little bit better. We'll check everything here, all these, make sure nothing looks burnt, swollen, broken. But I don't think the problem is in here, because I could turn the game off. I mean, I could turn the marquee off. This is just the marquee we're working on. So I'm gonna turn it off. Power is gone. And then when we turn it back on, it will turn back on, no problem. So I know there's not really a problem with this. So I'm just gonna remove the board and take it to the bench and see if I see anything. So let's remove this board. All right, so we're looking at the board here. Just so you know, I'm not a board technician. I don't really do board work. I can pinpoint things down to the board and then hand it over to the board guy and say, I need you to fix this, please. Anyway, so looking at everything, I don't see any burnt out chips. I don't see any burnt out resistors, no swollen caps, burnt diodes, anything like that. I don't see anything. Everything seems to be pushed down. Although when I removed the battery, I did notice that there was a lot of weird, I don't even know what that is. This stuff right here, it almost looks like rust to me. Not really sure, but could that be the issue? Man, I'm not really sure. I'm gonna put a new battery in there because this battery definitely looks pretty bad. One of the bolts fell out of here. Obviously all the bolts are missing except for this one. This is the only one that's holding it in there. But the other one I did find, and I'm gonna put it back on. Not that that's gonna fix the issue, but I do notice that this little layer right here is actually coming up. So I'm gonna squish everything back down. This side looks okay, and the one on the other side looks okay as well. Could that be the solution? I don't know, probably not. Could it be the transformer that's going bad? Probably. But I just don't know. So I'm gonna clean that up. I'm gonna put the battery in. I'm gonna put it back in to the game and see what happens. If not, I will call tech support. Remember, the key word is call tech support, and hopefully they can guide me in the right direction. Or maybe I just need to replace this board. I don't know. So let's clean that up, put a new battery in there, and slap it back into the marquee and see what happens. All right, so it's back in. It's turned back on. All I did was just make sure all the chips are seated correctly. I did do a little bit like cleaning to the board. I did check everything to make sure that there was no broken or burnt out caps, resistors, whatnots. Checked the fuse, plugged everything back in, and turned it on, and hopefully that does something. Hopefully it lasts a lot longer than the few minutes that it does, and hopefully it stays on. If it doesn't, the only thing I can do at this point is send the board to get repaired or get a new one. So hopefully what I did just kind of fixed it and whatnot. That weird rust that was there from the battery possibly could have been causing the game to, or causing the marquee to short and then turn off or something. I don't know. So let's hope for the best here. I'll come back to this every once in a while and check it and see what's going on. All right, so I couldn't even get off the game. By the time I got up just to get off the game, it turned off. So there's definitely something wrong. I don't know what it is. Could it be that backboard? Man, I really hope it is, because that's what I'm going to order. It started making that weird popping sound. That popping sound is coming out of the speakers. That's all it is. It's not really like a popping sound from the board. It's just the speakers popping after the power turns on and off, I guess. I don't know. So, not sure what to do next besides ordering another board. So, let's call ICE and see what they have, to see if they even have this board for a pre-2005 ice ball. Okay, well, let's go call them. All right, so I got my one board back from ICE. I sent it to them thinking that this may have been the issue why my marquee keeps turning off or keeps malfunctioning. According to them, no problems found. So I'm back to the drawing board trying to figure out why my marquee will light up for about 10 minutes and then make a loud noise and then stop working completely. So we got to do some more digging. You know, this is always going to be a pain in the ass, but we got to do what we got to do. So let's go reinstall this. Maybe it'll start working. I don't know. So let's just put it back in and turn it on and see what happens. All right, so it's back in. As you can see, it is working, but this is what it was doing before. So now I just gotta wait and see if it's still doing it. Maybe the fact that they cleaned the board, because that board was disgusting. That board was filthy. No matter what I did to clean it, probably wasn't enough. They probably, because that board looks super amazingly clean, to tell you the truth. It did not look like that when I sent it to them. It looked worse, a whole lot worse. But it's clean. Maybe they did that, and maybe that's the trick to fixing this. I don't know. Could be power module, maybe. Maybe the power module is going bad, and that's what is creating it to, or making it turn off. That's probably going bad. Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe it's one of the boards in the front. I don't know. We're just gonna have to keep working at it and see what happens. I'm gonna let it run like this for a little bit. Come back to it a little later, and hopefully it still stays running. If it does, then it must have just been a really bad, dirty board. That board did have a lot of stuff on there. So, yeah, let's let it run and see what happens. All right. And here we go. So, I walked away. I think I might have walked away for about, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes tops. And it's off. And I don't know what it is that has made it turn off. And I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything hot, overheated. Nothing feels overheated. I just don't know. So maybe, I mean, I still kind of have power. Man, I just don't know. I guess I'm just gonna try changing the power module and see what happens. So that's my next thing. I'm gonna change the power module. All right, let's do that. All right, so I'm trying something different. What it is, I disconnected this board over here. I left this board connected, powered it on, and see what happens. I want to see how long it lasts with just this one here, and then I'm gonna try it vice versa. see how long it lasts with that one over there. So I'm just doing this as a test. I don't know what it's gonna tell me, but I'm just gonna see what happens. Okay, so testing on this side over here, just having this one lit up only. It lasted a couple minutes and then it turned off. Unplugged that one, plugged this one in, same thing, lasted a few minutes and then it turned off. So I really didn't tell him anything at all. I guess it tells me that there's really nothing wrong here. I don't know. Well, my next thing is the power module. I'm gonna swap that bad boy out, and there's really not much in here. The board came back, no problems. I don't know if it's these. They don't look bad. They don't feel bad. You know, nothing feels hot or warm. Normally, I would feel something, smell something, or something. The speakers, I can disconnect the speakers, and it still does the same thing. I can disconnect this light. I don't even have a light in it, and it still does the same thing. I've already done that before. I've disconnected the speakers and the light off the board, and still does the same thing, no matter what. So, it's I don't know. Maybe it's the power module. I don't want to say it is the power module because I don't know. Well, let's replace it. I got a couple of them right here. Hopefully, one of these fits. If not, I'll find one. Let's change it. See what happens. All right, so I've replaced the power module. Everything's back on as normal. This is looking normal. I guess it's just a matter of time to see how long it lasts. So I'm gonna walk away, walk around, and come back in a couple minutes, see what happens. I did replace the power module, but unfortunately the power module that I had, it doesn't really fit, so I have to make the hole slightly bigger to be able to fit it in, or just sort of rig it in there to work until I can get an actual power module for this marquee. But anyways, let's let it run for a little bit and see what happens. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it's just a stupid power module. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. All right, and just like that, it took maybe, I don't even know, 3 minutes, 3-4 minutes, and it's off. It made that popping sound, and then it stopped working. So I've lost power. I don't know what it is. I guess it's time to call tech support and ask them what's going on. Well, let's call tech support. All right, so I wanted to try one more thing. I disconnected the speakers again, and I disconnected the light. So the board only has 2 connections right now, which is just, well, 3. Power, and then the 2 little display boards, the dot matrix boards, or actually LED boards. So that's all that's connected right now. No light, no speakers. So let's see what happens after a while with this. Well, I'm gonna come back to it. Well, that was quick. Turned the camera off, turned around, and then turned around to look at it just real quick, and here it is, turned off. So, like I said, I'm back to square one. They say there's nothing wrong with the main board. I don't have the light connected. I don't have the speakers connected. The only thing I had connected was the 2 LED boards. I mean, I guess I could probably disconnect the LED boards, but the problem is how am I going to tell if it turns off or not? I mean, so I don't know. Back to calling tech support. So there we go. Okay, so I have talked to tech support, and I explained to them what's going on with the marquee here. The most important thing to know when you're dealing with the marquee is that this particular one is pre-2005, so this is older. Okay, the new marquees are not like this. New marquees are a lot different, nicer looking, better, probably better made. Anyways, so because this is a pre-2005, the reason that it's turning off is because it's going into, I guess, hibernation mode. That's the way he explained it to me. It's just going to sleep. About 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and then, you know, it goes to sleep, and then it turns off, and that's it. The reason it does that is because out of the 6 lanes, The guy is telling me from tech support from ICE is if one of the lanes is not communicating, let's just say even number 6. So the marquee is communicating from 0, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way to 5, but 6 is not talking. Because of that number 6 not communicating with the marquee itself, it makes the marquee go dormant. I almost don't really want to believe that, but hey, you know, at this point I'm willing to try anything. So I'm gonna go check the games to make sure that they're linked correctly. If they're not, I will fix the link and then make sure that they're all linked together and ready to go. And then reinstall the marquee and see what happens. Because at this point, I don't see anything wrong with the marquee at all. So according to ICE, it's got to be the linking. So if like they said, that doesn't matter which one it is, it could be either number 1 or number 6. If one of them does not communicate, it will make the marquee go to sleep and not work. So the next step is going to the actual ice ball games, lifting them up and making sure that they are linked together. That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna have to get a helper for that. All right, so let's get through that. All right, so back to the bonus board in this ice ball. It's a pre-2005, just in case I didn't tell you 1,000 times already. So the board's back in. I've already replaced the power module. I had to modify the actual hole for the power module to get it in there because it was slightly bigger. New one's in there. I already got all the lanes linked up together, so each one of them is linked into each other. I just gotta link the marquee to the first one right here because this is number 1, and then hopefully everything is good. I already showed you in the other video, the post 2005 ice balls, how they actually link, so I don't need to show you that here. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cable, I'm going to connect it to there, run it to the back, connect it into this one, and then let it roll and see what happens. If the marquee turns off on me again, then I'm calling tech support back and saying that their idea of one of the lanes not communicating with the marquee is not correct, and I need to find a better solution. So let's hope it works. So let's go get that cable and link it together. Okay, so the marquee is back up. Yeah, I know, it's not lit up. I need to put a light in there. I'm doing this for a test. So now it's just a matter of waiting to see how long it lasts. If it lasts all day long, then great. They were correct. It makes a difference if the games are not linked or if the link is broken, the marquee will go out. But this is the test, so let's see what happens. I'm just gonna walk away and come back to it in a little bit and see if it's still on. If it's not, then oh well. If it is, then great. All right, well, we'll come back to it. All right, it's been about, I don't know, 45 minutes maybe, definitely a half hour. It's still on, that's a good thing. So I'm just gonna keep watching it. I'll come back in another 45 minutes to an hour and check it again to make sure it stays on. If by the time I get ready to leave and it's still on, I'll just slap a light bulb in there and get it working. They should be good. I guess they were correct about the linkages. Although when I went underneath there to link all the cables, I bought new cables. I noticed that some of the cables were cut, pinched through the doors. How that happened, I have no idea. The cable should loosely go in between the games. Kind of like this little section right here where you can put your hand in right here. It goes all the way through across, so the cable should go from this one over through that little hole into this one. How they got in between the doors, I have no idea. But all the link cables were smashed, ripped, cut, damaged beyond belief. So now with all brand new cables, everything seems to be holding well, even the top marquee. So let's come back in about an hour and hopefully it still stays on and we'll slap a light bulb in there. All right, so here we are again. This is the last time I'm gonna come to this game. It's still on, it's been a few hours. I think it's working, I think it's fixed. So they're definitely correct that if you have one of these unlinked that is not talking to the marquee, it will, and that's why it turns off. It does turn off. So they are correct. The post 2005s does something a little different. If it's not plugged in, it turns off, period. But if it's plugged in and it's not linked, it just won't work. But with this one, if it's not linked correctly or something is wrong, it does go into a dormant sleep, waiting for the links to be restored. Anyway, so everything is linked. So that's number 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So make sure you number them correctly. And that's it. So this game should be good to go. All right, marquee's back up. Thank you for watching.